What does it mean to live as space? Well, you are always already doing it. You always live as space, because you are space. But the difference might be that you are not yet conscious of it. You might think yourself to be a body and a mind, because that space, which is intelligent and energetic and alive, so that intelligent space can identify with form. And this is the current state of our society. This is how people live. People live believing that their own essence is intrinsically connected or one with or derived from the body and the mind. We believe collectively in our society that consciousness is generated from the human body, or from the mind or from the brain, but from the human. Consciousness is derived, comes out of, is created by the human being. Why are we conscious? We don't know, we just are. And when we die, consciousness dies with us. Separate form in the world. What a dream, what an illusion. Why is it so persistent? Well, it is so persistent because the ego, the separate self, has a very true, very real validity to it. It has aliveness and realness to it, because its essence is real. But it has taken on the form created by the mind, a form of imagination. The mind, the human mind, with all of its beautiful colors and shapes and forms, formations, imaginations, dragons and unicorns, all of that. There's no limit to the imagination of a human being. That imagination has formed an identity, a person, a created self. And that self is fueled by, created by, and has as its own essence the essential intelligent nature of every individual, every consciousness. But we do not know that without that imagination, that consciousness is still there. It is not dependent on the imagination. It is very possible for us, completely possible, to know ourselves beyond that imagination, and so live without that imagination whenever it's not relevant. Because the imagination, the sense of self, is functional. It's okay. It's part of the human brain, you see. We can conjure that up. It is totally fine for the human mind to create a sense of self, an ego. But of course, it's not truly who we are. How great is it to know ourselves beyond that imagined self? The imagined self lives in the world with the body and the mind. That's totally fine. It's fun, isn't it? We imagine so many things, so why not a self? But whenever it is not relevant, we can become the space that we are already. But now aware in our consciousness. We are aware that this space is fundamental underneath the separate self, the ego, the imagined self. Whenever the imagination is not there, whenever no imagination is there, whenever time is not present, there is this space, the space of awareness. And what happens in that space? Does this space move? Does this space change? No, it doesn't. It is conscious, aware, alive, but it does not change. But whatever appears in it, which is, by the way, everything that appears in it is having that same space as its foundation. There's nothing outside of this space. There's nothing that is not made of this essential unified consciousness. But it gives rise to form. So whenever you, in a way, retract to just being that space, aware, conscious, alive, then you see forms like the forms you see in the room around you. And you see those forms as formations of energy, dense energy. That space denses itself into form. But now, of course, like you know, that form, those forms that you see, are not new, they are recycled. You know that. Forms are always recycled. Everything that you see was once stardust, and it will become stardust again. But in the meanwhile, it will transform into numerous or innumerous different shapes and forms, formations. Constantly moving, constantly changing. Which form that you see around you is permanent? Is there any form permanent? Of course not. They're all disintegrating. They're all being reshaped into something new. So when does that happen? When does the change happen? It happens all the time, right now. It never stops. Every form is constantly in transformation. It requires a human mind to create form in time. To say that form was born at that point and it will disintegrate at that point. That's the human mind. It's great, beautiful, no problem there. But when we see ourselves as this space, because the mind has no function at the moment, then we can see that every form in this space is moving, changing, and it has its current formation right now. And it is the space that is aware of that. And then your whole system rejuvenates. You get fresh inspiration. You get fresh direction for where you need to go, what you need to do, what the mind is going to do in this world. How beautiful it is to know our fundamental nature, to know ourselves truly for what we are. It's the most gorgeous thing. It's the evolution of mankind. We want to know who we are. It is the longing that every human being has, whether they know it or not. It lies underneath. Sometimes it's hidden. We think we want other things, but those other things have as their purpose to make us more complete, to make us more whole, to make us more fulfilled. But none of them can. The only thing that can make us truly fulfilled is the realization that we already are. And everything that is posed upon that is a play, a joyous play of creation. Beautiful. This world is so beautiful, people, really. If there is such a thing as heaven, it's right here, it's this. There cannot be anything better than this. It's impossible. This world of form, this play of colors and shapes, there cannot be anything better than this. It's impossible. To know ourselves as space is, in essence, very simple. But what blocks it is the conditioning of mind and body, the constant shape-shifting of that consciousness into created forms. So if you retract from every form step by step, always take a step back, a step back, then you will inevitably become less and less of any form that you identify with. But if your consciousness stays present, meaning that you don't deviate into some thought pattern or some absence, don't go into absence, you stay present, you stay alert, while you step back more and more one step at a time, from any identification with form, from any thought, then what is left is that pure alertness. And in there, it will be more and more visible that the essential nature is just that. No form stays. Every form comes and goes. But you always see those forms, don't you? You are essential and before any form. You are before and after every form comes into appearance. Every form is your creation. When you become conscious of it, then you will create the things relevant for you instead of automatic conditioning. So step back one step at a time from any formation and be the space witnessing every formation. And it will reveal itself. You don't have to reveal it. It's already there. So focus on the forms and step back from every form. And naturally, it will reveal. It will come into consciousness. It will come into being. Or it's already into being. It will come into awareness. You become aware of it. You can do this. Just take it one step at a time. Okay. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.